Hey, welcome to New Point Community Church's video update for the Canton campus. We are thrilled that we can come and talk about a little bit what's going on here at New Point. I've got Kevin West here with me. He's our Family Life Director at Canton, and we're going to talk about community. We're going to talk about how to get involved and connected and that kind of thing at the Canton campus primarily, but really anywhere here at New Point. And the first thing, we talk a lot about community. It's actually a value,
Right.
Where we say, hey, we want everyone to experience community when they come to New Point. And so, Kevin, to you, what does that mean to you when I say we want people to be involved in community?
Well, we say a lot of things, and one of the important things that we all understand is that if you're not connected anywhere you go within a certain period of time, chances are that you're not going to stick with whatever that is, and no matter what,
right?
No matter what, softball or anything or whatever. Church is probably the one place that happens more than anything. So we always talk about growing bigger and growing smaller at the same time. One of the things maybe you heard Dwight say recently is we don't grow in rows, we grow in circles.
Right.
A talk doesn't change your life, but being in a relationship with someone else allows you the context to be able to unpack those truths and apply them and have some support and guidance in that process.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of community, and just doing life together.
Right. So what's the significance of that? Why is that so important for people to get together, and how do they really do it? Maybe someone's thinking, hey, I want to kind of take that step. What are some things that we try to provide at New Point to help people get connected?
Well, I really think the first thing that it kind of starts out with us individually.
Yeah.
And there's this part of us where in life we're trying to connect the dots, and there are these very little dots. But then there's these big dots that God wants us to connect, and one of the big ones is being involved with some other people who are trying to figure life out too.
Right.
And so, small groups is the primary way that happens. But it can also happen in serving.
Yeah, serving on a team
on
together.
A team,
yeah,
being
get
on a
to
team
know people.
where you get to know, because really the bottom line is really to know and to be known. I think people crave that. There's something within all of us that really wants that. And
where you can go where people know your name and know about you and know more than just your face.
Yeah. When you said that, it made me think of Norm. You know what I mean? I think of Norm, because here's Norm, and everybody goes, Norm!
Yeah.
That's kind of what everybody craves. Everybody wants that. And so we want to be a place that helps provide that for people, to be able to create the setting, challenge you to step into that, and then see what happens.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about, sharing your story and the significance of that. I know you've been talking to your team in family life a lot about someone needs to know your story.
Right. Well, I think one of the challenges that we have in church world is, especially in the stage that we are currently in the Canton campus, is up to this point, our relationships have been really tight because of so much gone into infrastructure and gone into putting things together and getting ready for launch. But now as launch comes nearer, the gap, the new normal, the school year kicks in, all the different things, and the gaps get a little longer. And the tendency is to kind of say, well, you know what, I'm going to substitute relationship for just like church Sunday morning. And
so as life gets busier, sometimes we eliminate the important connections and relationships just to go to church.
Right, we create a shortcut.
Yeah.
And so, and really, it's kind of one of those things that it doesn't, it doesn't really work.
Okay.
And then we kind of get dissatisfied, but we don't really know what the problem is. And so the way that you battle that is stories. It's being intentional. We have this wonderful cafe. We have this wonderful middle hour. Why wouldn't we leverage that to be able to walk up to some people and say, let me buy you a cup of coffee and tell me your story? Because there's something about knowing, really incredible about knowing someone's deal, about knowing their wife and their kids and knowing what's going on. Because here's the really cool part about it. And Keith Ferrazzi wrote this book called Never Eat Alone. And he talked about when you know people's stories, all of a sudden it pops in your mind someone else that this person needs to meet. And then you begin to start taking two people who could really benefit from knowing each other and make connections.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you this, whenever groups begin to take place, if you go back and study that, you'll find that a lot of those kind of built around those kind of connections.
Cool.
It's really cool.
Well, here's how you can get involved. If you're thinking, hey, I'd like to get into community, a couple of things coming up. We've got Group Link coming up. That's October the 2nd, and you can sign up. It's in the weekly every week. It'll be in there this weekend and next weekend, and you can sign up for that. And that's letting us know you're interested in getting in a small group. You can also say, hey, I'm interested in getting on a serving team. Maybe I've not taken that step yet. And you can just let us know on your communication card. I'd like to start serving so that someone can get to know me and know my story.
Right. And Chad, that is a great first step. I mean, it really is, because it allows you to kind of get some rhythm and and you know what? Not all of us are like all in people. We're not going to like jump in and go, hey, here I am. A lot of times it's just building up those little small bumps and instances and conversations,
right,
where then you begin to start really sharing your story.
Okay. Hey, and those would be the couple of ways to Group Link, and just letting us know, hey, I want to get in a small group. We try to match people up as best we can, but I would encourage you to start talking about how can we get involved in community at New Point as a family, as individuals, whatever you might find yourself in. So that's what we're talking about today, community. Hope that it resonated with you. Feel free to call us anytime. We would love to download. Kevin and I'd love to meet with you and talk about your story and get to know you better as well. So feel free to contact us as well. We're at the Canton campus throughout the week. So hey, thanks for tuning in today. God bless you, and I hope to see you this Sunday.